everyone. I thought today we'd try to paint one of my favorite signs of spring, which is a daffodil. We're gonna do this really loose and really easy. So let's start with some orange. I'm gonna start with like a burnt orange. You can also use a cadmium, any kind of orange you like. And I'm going to do the ruffly part, if that makes sense, of the daffodil. So it's almost like an oval shape. And again, we're not being too precise. It's a little bit wild, okay? Then I'm gonna get, I'm probably gonna leave that dark and I'm gonna get a little bit lighter orange. This is a cadmium. And I'm just gonna do what I would call the barrel of the daffodil. I'm gonna leave a little separation between it and this ruffle. Add a little more pigment to that. It looks a little dull. So let's brighten that up a little. And I'm gonna leave a little bit, here's my separation, just so you can see that that's a different part. It doesn't all blend into one blob. All right, then I'm gonna get a mix of some lemony yellow and a little Winsor Yellow Deep, which is probably my favorite yellow. And we're gonna go for the petals. They're gonna come off the barrel and be very big and loose. And we do not care if the colors bleed, okay? One this way. And they don't all have to be perfect and even. This is our loose interpretation. So the motion is to touch and pull down and lift, okay? You can see all this is blending and bleeding, and that's the idea. So we get some pigment and a little more pigment, a little bit of water. Dab it off on your paper towel if you need to. Just like a side petal, right? And then I'm gonna do one that's like mostly water here. It's gonna pull from the other petals on either side to get its color. And yeah, I mean, really that's sort of the body of the flower. Pick up a little pigment there, all right? Now, because we really did a wet on dry technique. I took dry paper, added wet paint to it. But now, since we have a lot of this wetness, we can go in and do a little wet on wet. We can add a little more pigment here. We can help the bleeds a little if we want to with some, let's see if we have some like a little bit darker yellow. Maybe not an ochre, but like a blend with an ochre. Let's see. We can kind of touch the bottoms of these petals, add a little definition to them. Personal preference on whether you want to do that. You can put a little definition along the edges, but we're keeping it loose, right? Okay, so I like that. I think that looks good. Let's go for the stem and leaves now. I'm going to use a size 6. I've been using a size 6. I should have told you that. And I'm gonna get sap green, my favorite green, a good bit of that, but I also wanna get a little indigo mixed with it because I like it mixed with a little blue for this. The blue with the orange is a great contrast. So I'm gonna touch here. I don't care that that bleeds. And I'm gonna push down and I'm gonna do my stem. It's a thick stem and I want it that way because they do have very sturdy stems. So I'm gonna add a little pigment here. All right, and I like that. I'm gonna add a little bit of thickness to the top of the stem. Okay, now I'm gonna get a fat brush. This is a 16. I'm gonna get a good bit of water on it, really wet. Get my sap, get a little indigo with it, and I'm gonna keep it pretty light. I'm gonna keep a decent bit of water, but keep it really wet. Touch your stem, okay? Touch. Push down, give it a twist, and lift up. Okay, that's how I like to do these leaves. You know how they have a good bit of thickness to them. I'm gonna add some right? Add a little pigment along the edge. I love that leaf. I think that's really pretty. So it's a lot of water to get that motion and to be able to pull it up. You see where it's sort of dry and then wet. And I'm just gonna leave that. We're just gonna let that be. Let's do one this way too. Sorry, I have hairy dogs. Okay, so push. See how I didn't have enough water on it? See that, how dry it was? I'm gonna push. I'm gonna lift up here because I know I don't wanna touch my flower all the way, and then I'm gonna finish my leaf up here. Right now I know that looks weird, but bear with me for a second. What we'll do is we will come back with our 6 and some dark green, and we're gonna finish this. It's dark where it goes under the flower, right? There's the shadow. And where it pops back out is up here. You can pull it out this way. I love that these leaves, I feel like they look like they're like kind of dancing around, okay? It's fine that it touches and bleeds. It really is. I know sometimes that feels like you're being messy, but that's kind of what we're doing. All right, I'm gonna pick up a little pigment down here to lighten that. And I don't know, when this dries, we could go in and finish this leaf all the way, you know, but I don't want it to bleed too much with the flower right now. So let's do one more leaf, just for fun, coming off up here. We'll kind of frame it out. I don't know, there's something about 3s that kind of look cool. We'll pull it off here, up, push. It's gonna be dark, that's fine. This is gonna be a darker one. It's a little bit behind the other ones, right? It's in the back. More water, push, and then we're just gonna pull it like straight up. I don't know why, because he's cool looking. All right, like that. And he goes down in, so he's gonna be a little bit darker and wilder. I'm gonna add a little more pigment there, maybe at the base, sometimes at the tip. I don't know if that's still wet. Yeah, not bad, okay. Up here. All right, last thing to do on this guy is let's take a 2. Oh, that one's dirty, but let's take a 2 and go back with our like really dark burnt orange and just add a little bit of a center. He's like one that has like a little dark middle to him. Okay, that's it. That's all. We're done. Like I said, there's a gap in the petals here. When these 2 petals dry, see, I'm gonna run my hand through it. When these 2 petals dry, if you wanna run your leaf through here and do it real tiny, there's something tempting about doing that and really making it look sort of like it really goes perfectly behind. But I feel like it might be a little too soon to do that. I can't help myself. God knows why. All right. I guess those are dry enough. Okay, so you can see what I'm talking about. The leaf goes like that. I think like that is basically how that would show up. So there's your super loose daffodil. I hope you like it. I hope you'll try it. If you do, tag me, put it on Instagram and tag me at Sweet Seasons Art. I love to see it and I like to restory everybody's work. So if you are doing any of these tutorials, please share. I would love to see it. Thanks so much. Bye.